Join us as we meet the 2010 DoDEA National Distinguished Principal and celebrate the many contributions of DoDEA principals to military families. Coming up next in the chat room. Welcome to the chat room. I'm your host, Frank O'Gara. The National Distinguished Principals Program was established in 1984 as an annual event to honor exemplary elementary and middle school principals who set the pace, character, and quality of the education children receive during their early school years. With me in the studio today is the 2010 DoDEA Principal of the Year and the DoDEA representative to the National Distinguished Principals Program, Ms. Helen Balilo. Ms. Balilo is currently the principal at Wetzel Elementary School in Baumholder, Germany, which is located in the DoDEA Kaiserslautern district. Welcome, Ms. Balilo.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely our pleasure to have you here in the chat room today. First, I want to congratulate you on the great honor of being selected as a National Distinguished Principal.
Thank you.
And also share with you that I know that principals and teachers and our students and really our families all around the globe share that same sentiment. We're all very proud of this accomplishment. It's a great moment for you.
Yes, thank you very much. It's exciting.
Well, let's talk about the principalship today, and I want to begin by talking about this honor that you've received, okay, the National Distinguished Principal. What does this honor mean to you?
Oh, it means so much. It's just amazing to have been chosen to represent all of the fine educators that we have in the DoDEA system and all of the extremely talented administrators that we have. It's just awe-inspiring.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you come from, where you've served, okay?
I started out in DoDEA. I was born in West Virginia, and I started my career in DoDEA in the Philippines, and then we moved to mainland Japan and at Sugi, a Navy base there. And then we moved to Okinawa. I was a kindergarten teacher there for 8 years, which I absolutely loved. And a few years after the 8 years was over, we moved to Baumholder, Germany, and I was the assistant principal at Smith Elementary School. And then I just moved to Wetzel 6 years ago as the principal. It's my first principal position, and I've been there for 6 years. What an honor.
And I know you've done some great things there, and we're going to talk about that in a while. I want to begin by just talking about the principalship, and the principalship specifically in the military culture in which we live and work. How important is it for our administrators to be immersed in that military culture, to be really cognizant of the mission that the military has, so that we understand what the parents of our students do every day? How important is that for you as a principals?
It's extremely important. Most of us get into education because we want to serve, and what greater honor than to serve the people who serve our country so well. In Baumholder, it's a highly deployed area. We have families that are constantly in a state of change. Their family members, there's one that's leaving and being deployed or returning and coming back for reintegration, and it's important for us to keep the focus on the children and their educational progress so that they can focus on the mission. We need to keep that at our forefront at all the times.
Well, you're doing obviously a good job of it in Baumholder. I want to talk about our mission too for a minute, and that of course is teaching and learning. That's what our business is, that's what our focus is. What is it that principals do to ensure that the instruction, the curriculum, the assessment that we do is bringing about what our first goal in the CSP is, and that's high student achievement?
One of the first things that we have to do as administrators is we have to maintain a positive relationship with our faculties, with our students, and with our families, the community members that we share. We also have to keep in mind that we need to keep abreast of current research and best practices. We need to be the educational leaders within those schools so that we can help model appropriate intervention strategies for our students and appropriate instructional strategies. And so as the educational leader in that school, we maintain and keep the focus on student achievement.
Now you mentioned keeping abreast of what's current and what's happening. How do you do that when you're located thousands of miles from the United States?
Exactly. It can be a challenge. But most of us, well, I would say all of us probably, are members of professional organizations. The technologies that we have available now through the internet really helps us be able to keep abreast of current research. And times that our superintendents pull us together and give us a chance to collaborate with each other as educational leaders keeps us informed. And then, of course, we learned so much as administrators. I know I personally learned so much from my teachers. They really keep abreast of what's new and what's current, and they help me keep abreast because I have to keep running it to keep a couple steps ahead of them.
Sure, absolutely. Has the connectivity, the technology, has that helped things?
Oh, definitely, most definitely, especially with us being in Germany.
I want to share with you a quote that one of your teachers wrote about you, and then kind of ask you about it. And one of your teachers said, Ms. Balilo energizes, engages, and encourages the stakeholders at Wetzel community to excel and work together. She creates an atmosphere of cooperation and mutual respect throughout the school and the community. What's the magic that principals like you create or use to create this kind of an environment?
The word that you said, respect, that's key. You have to give respect to get respect. And you have to respect people for where they are individually. And that includes not only our students and our family members, but it also includes the teachers. We have to respect where they are on their professional continuum and help them take continuous steps forward. And that's how we get highest student achievement.
Well, you've done, I think, a marvelous job from all accounts at Wetzel, and I want to talk a little bit about Wetzel. Tell me a little bit about the work that you've done there, you and your teachers at Wetzel, to bring about continuous improvement.
Well, I tell you, I'm glad that you said me and my teachers because I don't work alone. If I didn't have the support of the fantastic staff and the fabulous parents that we have in the Wetzel community, our school could never have achieved the success that we have so far. It really takes all of us working together, continually looking at our students, seeing individually where they're progressing, where their areas of strength are, where their areas of weakness may be, and then specifically targeting skills to help them become more successful. We've formed relationships with the teachers and the parents, all focused on student achievement. Actually today, while I was here, we had one of our monthly lunch and learn sessions, and that's where the parents had an opportunity to come in. They looked at their individual child student data, and then they made plans with professional educators about how to take their child and move them to the next step. And that's what we do for our students. We take them where they are and help them to be all that they can be.
That's terrific. And parents have an equal partnership in that as well.
Oh, definitely. It's important for us to have meaningful partnerships with the parents beyond just the getting them in the door to say hello during open house. Really, to affect positive change, you have to have true, meaningful relationships with the parents.
And what's the data showing you from Wetzel?
Oh, it's phenomenal. 2005, Wetzel had the lowest test scores in all of DoDEA, and significantly below the national norm in all areas. And now we're meeting and exceeding the national norm in all areas.
Wow,
so
that's
it's
great
pretty
news.
phenomenal growth.
Great news.
Yeah.
So you've got happy parents and happy kids as well, and
but we're
teachers
just
are
starting.
working hard,
That's
just starting.
Right.
It never ends, does it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Now you've got some special things that complicate things, I think, at Baumholder. I mean, obviously at Baumholder, as we do in every DoDEA school, you have transition issues that we deal with, and we've gotten quite good at dealing with those. But deployments have heavily impacted, I know, Baumholder, for the last 10 years. Okay.
Exactly.
What is it that you do as a principal, and what is it that your teachers do to take on that added responsibility for family support that comes when you have a heavily deployed community like Baumholder?
The Baumholder community and as the teachers within that community, really, truly, that's where the magic is. They really understand that they are filling a void that may be gone. We understand that our families are on the other side of the ocean, and so they step in and step up and do whatever they can to support the families. We have organized events every month for the families to come in and do things together with their students. We have all the typical things that in many military communities they do, where we have classes to help deal with the deployment stresses, things to help the students, all of those normal things. But the really unique part about Baumholder is that we have teachers who reach out on a more personal level. Sometimes we have parents who might not be able to drive a car. The person who has the driver's license is in Iraq, Afghanistan. We have teachers who take them to the commissary. There are people who take care of the children so that the parents have a few hours after school to do things. I mean, the personal level that they reach in and reach out to the community is something that you can't find anywhere else. It's truly a unique place to work. It's the magic kingdom, that's what I call it.
Wow, that's great. And teachers are absolutely part of the community and the culture there then.
Oh, definitely. Definitely so.
What kind of feedback do you get from soldiers and civilians who may be deployed about the work that you're doing in this regard?
You know, it's really exciting. Last year, at the end of the school year, we had a unique opportunity the last week of school to be visited by the Honorable Dr. Stanley. And he hosted a community forum in our school afterwards. And parent after parent after parent told him about how important the schools were in their times of transition and in their desire to form stability in their families during the transitional times, and how important it was to him or to them that they had a place where they knew that they were respected and valued as educational partners, and that their students' needs were being met, whatever those needs may be. And so we hear it personally from the parents, but then anytime there's an opportunity for them to speak to someone in power, they are constantly reaching out and letting everyone know how important our staff is to them as a family.
And it's real validation for us, because I think as educators, those of us who have been in the system a long time, we've always known that we really made a difference when it came to taking care of families, particularly in times of extended deployments or conflict. Okay, but to get that validation and I'm sure that you deserve a great deal of credit for the leadership you provided and the work the teachers have done to make that happen.
Well, they try to give me credit, but really it's a team effort. It's 100% a team effort, because there is no way that we could make the progress that we have made if I didn't have fabulous people to work with and work for.
Well, that's great. You mentioned issues that folks brought up with Dr. Stanley, okay? And in this country today, the education has really moved to the top of the agenda. We've had the recent movie that was released on Waiting for Superman, the Education Summit and Education Nation that has spurred a national conversation about American schools and improvement in American schools. As a principal, what do you see on your radar screen as the biggest issue, or even issues that you're going to have to address and your fellow principals will have to address in the near future?
Well, for us, one of the things that we really need to look at and keep at the forefront of our agenda is ensuring that our teachers have every opportunity for professional learning that they can receive. The single greatest indicator for success for a child is what happens in that classroom. Regardless of socioeconomics or other things that happen that we are completely out of our control in the school, we can control what happens in that classroom every minute, every day. We can control what happens in the school every day. So we need to ensure that our teachers are aware of best practices, that they're utilizing best practices, and they're differentiating instruction to meet the diverse needs of all of our learners.
And that's a strong focus then of what you're doing there at Baumholder now.
100%.
What if you had a chance to give advice to your fellow principals around the world as they guide their own school operations, what would it be?
I think that I would like to talk to them as a parent, because I am a parent in a DoDEA school, and I would like to say that I want them to have the same sense of urgency to make their school the very best school that they can be, just like I had. I wanted that school to be a place where I could send my child with confidence and know that regardless of what her needs were, they were going to be met. And if I felt that way about that school for my child, I wanted it for all the other students that came through the door. So I think I really want people to have that sense of urgency to make it the best that they can make. You don't have to start at the end. You have to take little steps all the way through, and just that continuous cycle of improvement, but have that urgency and start now.
It's a journey, isn't it?
It is a journey.
Well, I can tell you, as a parent as well, I would have great faith in you as a principal.
Oh, thank
and
you.
so it's obvious that you're doing great things and that you're much appreciated not only by your parents but by your teachers as well and your colleagues. I want to thank you for joining us today for this discussion, and again congratulate you for the great honor that you've received.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. It was an honor.
To learn more about the National Distinguished Principals Program, visit the URL shown on the screen. Thank you for joining us for this edition of The Chat Room.